Helicopters drop water attacking a wildfire that has burned over 22,000 acres without containment on Sunday, July 1, 2018 in Capay Valley, Calif. Paul Kadocki Jr., the Sacramento Bee via AP. It's now fire season in California, which means you'll once again be reading about some tiny communities you've never even heard of before. With the rare exception of last year's deadly firestorm that came down out of the hills in Sonoma County and took out an entire swath of the city of Santa Rosa, most of the fires in recent years have burned through backwoods communities, boondocks and burgs with curious names, unrecognizable to most anyone who doesn't live in them. Mark West Springs, Fountain Grove, Gwynda. Ad choice advertising and red invented by Teeds. Here's a look at some of those places put suddenly on the map of public awareness with a deadly flourish of flames, ashes and thick white smoke. Blue Ridge, a mountainous out-of-the-way stretch of Sonoma County that in 2016 was adopted by the Sonoma Land Trust as part of the region's wildlife linkage system, a corridor designed to help cougars, bears, raccoons and other animals move between Sonoma Mountain and the Mayacamas. It's part of the Blue Ridge Berryessa Natural Area on the east side of Napa County, dubbed the Marin Coast to Blue Ridge Critical Linkage and once called a California Serengeti. Mark West Spring, an unincorporated community midway between Calistoga and Healdsburg where the Mark West Creek winds through the Mayacamas Mountains, named for Scottish-American pioneer William Marcus West. The community was first colonized by a group of Mexicans called the Cosmopolitan Company. West built a rambling adobe hacienda and set up a trading post and post office near the stream that now bears his name and which is close to the Stony Point, up Mark West Springs Road, where he's buried. The area is known for its thoroughbred racehorses and has produced 2 Kentucky Derby winners. Gwynda, with a 2010 population of 254 people, this burg is located in the northwestern corner of Yolo County in a place called Capay Valley, which is home to the Cache Creek Casino Resort. It was named by Southern Pacific Railroad officials after a cherry tree at the site, according to Wikipedia, because Gwynda means Morello cherry in Spanish. The county fire is currently raging out of control after it started in nearby Rumsey Canyon. Fueled by dry vegetation and driven by gusty winds and low humidity, the area is now under mandatory evacuation orders. Middletown, evacuated during last year's Tubbs fire and severely damaged by the 2015 Valley Fire. This small community of 1,323 gets its name from being located halfway between Lower Lake and Calistoga. It's known, among other things, for its Hardesters Markets and Hardware, a local institution since 1943 that sells everything from lumber to specialty prepared deli salads. Formerly known as the Corner Store, Hardesters has been a local booster for decades, offering, among other things, free swim passes for kids 12 and under to the Middletown Community Pool, and it has won the Spirit of Lake County Award for its strong ties to the community. Fountain Grove, severely impacted by the 2017 Tubbs fire. This small community was settled in the 1800s by Thomas Lake Harris, the first of a wave of utopians to come to Sonoma County, according to author Beth Weingarner's piece in Medium.com. Harris established a commune on the site in 1875 called New Eden of the West, part of his Brotherhood of New Life project, and it included a book press and a winery that produced some 70,000 gallons of wine in 1886. Harris' beliefs included the idea of a deity that was both male and female. Weingarner writes, through something Harris called divine respiration, people could commune directly with this god. In addition, he taught that each person has a spiritual counterpart, and that the only way to identify that counterpart is to physically consummate with them. A local street is still named after Harris, even though he was run off the land in 1892 by local Christian groups who opposed his mysticism and his arcane ways and who accused him of making sexual advances on his followers. The famous round barn that was part of the winery was destroyed in the fire. Douglas City, site of the Flat Fire, now burning up in Trinity County. This community was first settled during the Gold Rush, nestled at 2,152 feet above sea level near the Whiskeytown Shasta Trinity National Recreation Area. The first local residents of the area included a people called the Tien Tien, which means friends. Their population took a hit from an epidemic of 1842 and was then further reduced with the arrival of gold speculators along the Trinity River. Shingletown, burned in the 2017 Grace Fire, the community of Shingletown in Shasta County, with a population of 2,283 rests on the red, iron-rich hem of Mount Lassen, whose peak towers 25 miles to the east. It's the proud birthplace of the Shingletown Historical Society, founded in 1961 by a small group of longtime Shingletown residents who decided it was high time to collect in one area the illustrious history and artifacts of the Ridge, says the group's website. In 2013, the group purchased the Shingletown Square complex of 3 buildings which now house, among other things, family heirlooms and collectibles from the group's founders, and in 2015, the Shingletown Historical Society finally opened its long-awaited museum. Sponsored content: How Connected TV delivers an engaged audience by adults spend more than 10 hours and 45 minutes consuming media every day, with much of that screen time taking place on computers, mobile devices. You might also like Kim Jong-un may tour economic facilities in Singapore. Straits Times arrest warrant issued for Joe Low. Report print edition: Why doctors will no longer prescribe blood pressure. Health news tips. Today deal alert. Anker's latest Nebula Mars 2720p. Hardware Zone. Apple Maps is getting a major overhaul. Hardware Zone. Alex Lowe's 50th birthday celebration at Fullerton Bay. Singapore. Tatler.com. Angelina Jolie's reported new boyfriend is not what MercuryNews.com. Ask Amy, my sister won't apologize for sleeping with. MercuryNews.com. Lawsuit. Shoplifters accuse Walmart Bloomingdale's of. MercuryNews.com. Recommended by